So at the end of that last video, there was dripping under the bug. That was 100% gas. One thing we didn't show was me changing the fuel lines on this right before we started it. So fuel lines are one of those things that start to go bad in older cars, so I changed them out of a safety precaution. I used a fuel line that was a 1/4 inch. 3/16 of an inch is going to be closer to what fits on a bug. I had some in stock and I didn't use that one. Additionally, hose clamps are another thing that go bad over time. A hose clamp failed and there was fuel spraying all the way from the top of the motor by the carburetor down over the coil and everything. So ultimately, gas was just kind of dripping down like crazy. Thankfully, everything was okay, everything like that. But the bigger fuel line did cause an issue in that regard. So that's just kind of one of those things that thankfully it was okay. It wasn't oil, so the garage or the driveway aren't stained with oil. So that's one thing, but that's another thing that needs changed. Another thing that we kind of swapped before we started it was we did get another battery. So we got a remanufactured battery from a place locally, and we got that popped in, and that's what helped it start as well. And it started right up after we changed those things, which is pretty cool. The battery shop was really cool because I asked for a Group 42 battery, which is what a Volkswagen takes. Apparently, I didn't know the number till I Googled it. And the guy at the shop, some old guy, was like, "You must have an old Volkswagen. Group 42s are hard to find. Here's a 47 that's about the same size." And that's what we got, and it started right up. It was just really cool because I went to 2 battery shops, and the first one, the guy was like, "Hey, we don't have 42s, and you might just call later." The second shop, the guy's like, "Old Volkswagen," and he just knew right away. And then he asked me the year, and we talked about it for a second, which was just really cool. So I need to get this fuel line swapped out, so I'm gonna pop open the garage and get this changed out for the correct size. That way we can pull it out, hose it off a little, get that gas off, and then kind of go from there. So this thing is rigged somehow. It's a brake line. I think this is supposed to be a soft line all the way back here, and the previous owner put a brake line. I don't know why, but it has a fitting on the end that's making it really hard to get a hose on. So we're gonna cut this off. That way we just have a clean line. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're using plumbing tools on our Volkswagen. Now that fitting is gone and we have a clean line, so that's awesome. I also kind of want to make it a little bit clear that this whole fuel line thing I'm working on is just temporary right now. We're going to replace all of them really well. So I'm just trying to get it to smell less like gas in the garage. So we're all set here. We're gonna pull it out front a little, hose it off, and bring it back in. So that's the plan. All right, give me a nudge. That's water. That's water. That's water.